Yeah, hi there, and welcome back. So let us continue. And what we will do now is we will try to implement a ClickListener for our RecyclerView. So by default, there is no on ClickListener like similarly we had for our list view. So for the RecyclerView, we have to implement ourselves the ClickListener. So let us try to implement it on this lecture. So I'll go over here on the top over here, and I'll create. Let me go and create let's say a private val, and I'll just call it as a item. It should be item item click listener, and that should be of let's say we want to get the data of the student, student, and we are creating a lambda expression over here and return us the unit, and which is of equals to. Here we will implement the whenever there is a click on this particular item we want to do something. So this is a lambda expression over here that we are actually making use of. So we don't want to go and there are multiple ways to handle our click listener, which is by implementing our interface and doing all those of callback style, but we will be using a Kotlin style, which is of using a lambda expression in Kotlin. So it's really easy to implement. So what we will do is we will just go and log that. Instead of I think we will make a toast dot make a text, and context is we will say require context, comma text is we want to print out the data. So items clicked, and over here we will print out this particular data that we received. So here we need to say our data that we received, and we will call it as a and student, and then we will just copy this one and paste it over here. And then finally we have to, the third parameter that we have to pass is the duration. So just dot the length long, and dot we'll just set it as a so. So we'll just give it as a not long, let's say as a short. Okay, so that should print out the student data for us. And now I will go back to my adapter that we have over here. And on the constructor, let me implement the second parameter over here. So private val, and I think I'll just copy from here instead of, so private val of item clicker listener, right? So I just need this one. Sorry, it should be on the adapter. So I just need that one. And that should be okay. So we have a second parameter that we have to pass over here, and I'll just copy the same thing, the private val item click listener. I'll just copy the same thing over here, and I will add it to the another class that we have, then the nested class that we have, and the second parameter that we'll try to pass it, this one. So let me try to arrange that one properly. Okay, so the second parameter that we passed over here, and if you go to the home fragment, now I should have some error over here. So the second parameter that I need to pass is the item click listener over here. So this item click listener is the lambda expression or the function that we have created over here. So I will pass that, but the name of the lambda expression on the constructor over here for the student adapter. So in the student adapter, we need that particular item click listener, and here we also need to pass over here. So on the student view holder. So when we return the student view holder, the first parameter is the student, the view item view, and the second parameter is the click listener. So the click listener that we pass, that is we are receiving from here. And now whenever the onBind is on, whenever we bind the data and whenever this particular item view is clicked, so which means that whenever we click on this item view, then we should print out that particular data. So I'll just go and say that item view dot the set on click listener. So whenever we click to that particular item view, and then we want to pass that item click listener, so we'll just pass it as the item click listener, and the constructor parameter that we have to pass is the student. So a student is this data that we can pass it over. So this is really easy to implement instead of creating all the callbacks and implementing the interface. So we don't have to do all of those using the Kotlin. And now if I go to the home fragment, you can see that what we did. So let me revise a bit. So I created a lambda expression over here, which is of item click listener, and we takes a parameter of the student, and return type is of the unit. And then whenever we get that particular item click listener is clicked over here, we just go and print out that particular student data. And then on the student adapter, we have over here, on the student adapter, on the constructor, we pass that on click listener, and similarly we did for the nested class of this particular RecyclerView adapter, which is of student view holder. And here we pass the second argument for our second parameter for our this class, so student view holder, which is of item click listener. And then whenever the item click is clicked, or the view over here, the item is clicked, then we have implemented the on click listener. So if I go and run the application now, and what we will do is we will try to just click on this particular item, then you can see the item is clicked, and student ID, the student ID, name, and all of the stuff we are getting from here. So this is our really easy way to implement the on click listener on the RecyclerView adapter. If you have some button also, you can perform the similar kind of the implementation. Like let's say you have button to delete, or you have button to edit over here, then we just have to create another item click listener where we just implement that particular click listener for that particular button or the view. So I think that's all for this lesson, and I hope you understand it and try to implement it on yourself, and then you will be more familiar about it. So we'll meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day.